Okay, well, today I'd like to have a conversation with you about money. Now, this isn't financial advice or anything. This is actually just me talking about money in general. Now, money isn't fucking real, and it just exists because they tell you it does. They just tell you money exists and everybody follows their laws and rules. And that's kind of the funniest thing about it is that if you think about it, it isn't real. It isn't a physical thing. Now, everything has values, and of course, there is truth to that. Some things matter more to generally everybody than others. Things like car, home, wife, girlfriend, these are dog, and money is not always based on that because, dogs around 5,000 to $1,000 maybe at least or at most. And cars are like 60,000. So it's like things that sometimes are the most important to people aren't the most in value. Maybe it's like it's parts and materials and labor to make things, and things are sometimes have like true value to people in general. Food, it's productive. It needs thing. But when you think about it, money isn't real. It isn't a real thing. We don't really need money. Now, people might argue against that, and people might even say that, well, what happens is everybody just going to sit around and not build society? Well, the funny thing is that the way it was designed, especially in Western capitalist societies, is that money is used to force people into doing things that they don't really want to do otherwise, i.e., work, i.e., build fucking roads and that. Now, the funny part is that these services are so poorly kept anyway that there's obviously a lack in the money, and a lot of the money that goes towards these things, taxes, you know, buying things, using your people's money to transfer between and make things happen. Um, these things are poorly kept, and it's often that money becomes about the individual and gaining individual wealth. And it's created a sickness in human brains, in their mind, and that they place a lot of value on money over material things. And this is actually a crime against us as a species. What it did is it made it so that, we have to abide by a system and follow guidelines based on country to earn currency and to have currency. And otherwise, we see with homelessness, there's people who are living on the street because they don't have any money. And people not going to just give them shit for free. Sometimes they do. The services are questionable. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're bad. Generally it's something that is questionable whether or not we take care of people who don't have any money. And of course, there's people who are rich. Now, the system benefits these people, these rich people who own lots of capital and they have lots of money passed down from generation to generation, or some stroke of luck, opening a business, having a business thrive, winning the lottery, and these people have lots of money and they can pass this on to whom they choose. Now, the problem with that system is it's made the wealth concentrate. They talk about this wealth concentration, something that's happening right now. A lot of the money available for human beings to actually possess themselves is not being dispersed, trickle down mechanics or whatever the fuck they want to call it. It's not being evenly dispersed, so you can't have money just everybody be rich, because nobody will work, and their system would collapse that they've created for us. So they can't have everybody being rich because they need people to work society. Society has to work. You can't just not have things like police, firefighters, road construction, infrastructure, plumbing, sewage, services, just go on and on and on, that makes what you view as a comfortable living modern society in Western civilization nowadays. You can't have that. They think that you can't have that. Now my question is if we have these things and we started automating so many processes, then why wouldn't money be going up to the individual? Why would people, if so many things are automated, why are people not working less, kind of thing? And you hear inflation, gas prices are fucking high, and groceries are fucking high. So we've been cheated by the system by thinking that somehow it's gonna get easier. That the single mom struggling with 2 kids to buy bread, they think that this system is going to improve. But what they don't tell you is that it's not going to improve. In fact, it's actually getting worse. And that single mother with 2 children, she can barely afford rent, has to get lent from parents, has to get things for this, and struggles to survive, bringing down their quality of life. Their men get harder, so she can't afford bread anymore. She has to starve, her kids are angry, life just circles and spirals for these people. Now, isn't it a little unfair that they have created this for us and people openly accept that this is reality? And the truth is that the people that are accepting it are people who already have a lot of money. You have lots of money, you go to a fancy restaurant, nothing. It doesn't really bother them. They can just do it, and they don't really have to even think about it. And those are the people that benefit from this way this society is created. And the thing is that some people have worked hard for that. I'm not going to deny that, personally. But at the same time, there are people who they haven't. And it's true. It's going to happen. There is reality to it. There are people who just don't work hard at all, and they get lots of money given to them for free, and for them to not really do that. And the bizarre thing about our society is that, don't you think as a human being you should be given the right to enjoy the things that make life enjoyable? Having a house, having a family, having a wife, having a girlfriend, and having generally like a good quality of life. Shouldn't you be owed that unless you're a criminal, hurt people, destroy property? Those are the intricacies that make our society so complex and make the justice system so necessarily to be completely detailed, and protect people's property, protect people's rights. You can have that society, and there should be that in place. But at the same time, there shouldn't be such a reliance on digitized banking currency. I believe, personally, and I could be wrong, and maybe society would just collapse and nobody would work, and the roads would fall apart, and people wouldn't do the things, and nothing else would become available. I could be wrong about that, but don't we owe it to the human beings around us to provide them with a good life to live, as opposed to nowadays where generally everybody works. Generally everybody has to be chasing that dollar, so to speak. And all the well-to people who already are super rich and decide to try and make more money. But I think that the consensus generally for most human beings is that they would like to just not have to work, not have to really exert themselves physically, mentally, in any capacity, and maybe that is kind of a right that everybody should have, but they've kind of taken it away by how the systems and financial systems of the world work. Everything is taken a little from someone else to give to someone else, and it's I just open economics just wanted to express that it could potentially be better for human beings to not have such a reliance on currency, and to get rid of money, maybe make it a little easier for people, maybe like they call it basic income, or universal basic income, but I think they try and play that money has to come from somewhere when you hear about them, adding money and all the complexities of the economics of it. It's all bullshit, and really, it's just something that some fucking asshole ruled that someone wrote in a book at one time a long time ago, and it's an idea. Money is an idea created in collective human brains, but it's not real. It doesn't exist. You don't need money really to live. You're survivalists, blah, 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 blah. Nature provides all that bullshit, but it does. It can help people, and they don't really need money because nature provides. We're living beings. We were, not too long ago, we were animals living in fucking, in Africa, long time ago. We were animals that evolved into the form that we are now. So we don't need money, I think, personally. That's just an opinion. And the fact that they make you do all this shit for money is bullshit. And it's kind of funny that people accept it, but because there's so many people on Earth, 7 billion people, and it's just, they're just okay with it. But that's just my thoughts as a human being on planet Earth. I just wanted to express it and see what you think. If you like it, great. Maybe I've talked a little bit and made no sense. If you don't like it, you can fuck off and go fuck yourself. Goodbye.